Thank you all. So my name is Ben Pearson. I'm our Vice President of Product Marketing at Nuvolo, and with me is Corey Lazinski. He's going to be running our demonstration today. You guys, what we're going to dive into today is the integration of HR and our Nuvolo facilities management application. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background on who Nuvolo is, what we do. We are a software company, just like ServiceNow. We actually are a native scoped application built on ServiceNow. So when you install Nuvolo, you actually get facilities management native to your ServiceNow platform. So if you're already running it, you want to extend to facilities, that's what we do. It's our core business. ServiceNow and Nuvolo, we have a great relationship. ServiceNow also is a customer of Nuvolo. They're actually using Nuvolo to manage their facilities across the world. Robert Teed, who runs facilities, is right back in the back of the room here. Thanks for joining us, Robert. Appreciate that. But you guys, we are fast growing right now in the facilities market. ServiceNow even recognized us as the #1 software development platform built on ServiceNow. A little bit about us, we've been around since 2014. We have over 100 customers globally. We are, like I said, really growing in that facilities market. So ServiceNow themselves actually recommends customers, they're looking for a facility solution, use Nuvolo, again, native on ServiceNow, built on ServiceNow. What we're going to talk about today, it's really all about that employee work experience. You guys heard John Donahoe this morning at his keynote actually talk about this, and it's really about sort of that, how do I make that employee experience the best it possibly can be, right? So I want to take that consumer experience that I have at home and now bring that experience to the workplace. What Nuvolo has done with facilities management and bridging, we're going to demo it for you today, and bridging our facilities capabilities with HR and making that new employee experience amazing is what we're actually doing for our customers today. So this slide specifically talks about that employee work experience. So you think about that, it's truly that enterprise service management platform, right? You have IT running, you have your HR service running, then you have your workplace services, and that's where Nuvolo comes in. In Nuvolo, we play all of those core capabilities, that work and maintenance, fixing lights, fixing your heating and cooling, space and resource management. That's actually what we're going to show today. We built a native AutoCAD integration to be able to show floor plans in ServiceNow. We don't require Mycello, if you're familiar with Mycello. We built a native integration. It's why ServiceNow, one of the reasons why ServiceNow chose Nuvolo for their solution. And a number of other capabilities for your facilities business. That brings that workplace services into now ServiceNow, and you have other, obviously, ServiceNow apps. So you think about that, this employee experience layer is critical because I want one experience for my employees. I want one place for them to go, one environment to interact with, and that's what Nuvolo helps our customers do. What we're going to dive in right now, let's just get to product demonstration. You guys want to see product, right? So I'm actually going to take you through that onboarding journey. So you guys are going to walk along the journey with me. We're going to take that hiring manager. I'm going to initiate that onboarding. Corey's going to walk through that process of initiating the onboarding. We're going to move in as a department head. We're actually going to approve that employee onboarding. Then we're going to actually be the new hire. I'm going to onboard into the organization. We're also going to talk about that task management of bringing an employee in. It's not as simple as just saying this is your office, this is your cubicle for day one. Here's actually the process of setting that environment up. And that's what Nuvolo brings. We actually show you how that actually, the tasks to do that. And then obviously your other services like custodial services to actually clean the space, paint the space, etc., in preparation for that first day that employee onboards. So what you're going to see here is, starting off, Corey's actually in our HR service management portal, and we're actually going to go through that onboarding request. So right here, it looks like, Corey, you're going to onboard John Donahoe. Okay, great. He's going to come on to Nuvolo. That's awesome. We'd love to have him. So he's actually gone ahead and submitted a request here. What happens when he submits the request, it kicks off a number of tasks. Right? When I'm onboarding an employee, I have a lot of tasks I have to do. I need to get them a badge. I need to get them all the various pieces for their first day on the job. One of the pieces that Nuvolo now brings is, guess what? I need to actually get them a space. So what Corey's doing here is actually going in and actually using Nuvolo to find an office and a space. You'll see, here's the office buildings he can pick from. Now he's actually going to choose what floor am I going to put that employee on. When he brings up the floor plan, this is using Nuvolo's native AutoCAD integration and bringing up that floor plan live in your ServiceNow instance. So you can actually see visually on the floor, color-coded, what is the space occupancy across your buildings, what's available, what's committed in yellow, and what's actually being used. So right now he actually picked a space. There's the office that he chose for John Donahoe. Hopefully it's a good one, Corey. And now he's going to go ahead and complete that process. Great, so what that's doing now is go ahead and kicking out a notification to the hiring manager, to the department head, to go ahead and approve that. I'll go ahead and use our ServiceNow mobile here, Corey, if you want. Obviously, Nuvolo runs on Madrid. We are certified on Madrid, so you're seeing the ServiceNow mobile app right here. So we're going to go ahead and approve this particular request here. And there we are. We're approved, so we're good to go. All right, so back to Corey. You are back up. So as the department head, I was able to approve that request. And now we're going to go ahead and take a look at where we're at in the life cycle of that new employee, John Donahoe, onboarding. So go ahead, and now we're actually going to go ahead and play the role of a move planner. Every facilities organization has a person that actually plans these moves, does these coordinations of moves. What I'm doing now is actually going ahead and moving folks. Here you're going to see it. This is a timeline, sort of Kanban view of being able to actually look at, here's the employees onboarding. So here's John, here he is. So what we're going to be able to do is actually, and Corey, if you want to drag and drop some of these functions, you'll see he can actually drag and drop users right onto the board. When do I want to move that person in? And guess what? What services do they need? And by the way, he can actually drag and drop network connection. So I need a ticket to IT. He can drag and drop that ticket over to IT, and what date are we going to set up the network connection in that office? He can do other services like space cleaning, getting the employee access control. Those services you provide to your employees, those are all configurable. So you can add as many services as you want. You can drag and drop each of these tasks over to what date you want to actually set those up. What's happening behind the scenes is it's kicking off the tickets to the various departments that need to perform that function, whether it be IT, whether it be HR, whether it be facilities. That's all happening behind the scenes, and that employee experience still is happening in the front end, right? All that's happening behind the scenes with this new move dashboard that we have right here. Great, Corey. So you went ahead and approved that, went ahead and kicked that off. Awesome. So now John should be going ahead, and we'll see the tasks here. So what's happening now is he's looking at the state of this. We've gone ahead and submitted that plan for moving that employee. We now know what steps we're going to take to actually onboard that employee, getting the office prepared, getting the various configuration performed, and here we are. Here's John's new office right here. Here are the various tasks that need to be performed. So you'll see here's the network connection that was kicked off, a ticket to IT, all the other pieces that happened as well. Once those are processed, your IT teams, your facilities teams, all got tickets, and they're able to process that on their mobile application to onboard John Donahoe. Okay, so that is how simple it can be to onboard a new employee and how we bridge HR and Nuvolo's facilities management capabilities together to make that employee experience world-class. Any questions from the group today? I want to go ahead and open it up to the folks in the room. Yep, so we actually, literally when you install Nuvolo, those two are tied together now. So when I kick off a task, for example, an onboarding task, I actually auto-triggered that facilities task to choose an office or a space as part of that and actually pick that from a floor plan. So those are actually completely integrated now together with Nuvolo, so you actually can bridge. When I onboard a new employee, I have a task for facilities automatically triggered that requires someone actually choose where does that new employee sit within the organization. Yep, another question? Yeah, question is when termination occurs, does it automatically free up the space? It absolutely does. We can actually plan commits and plan leaves as well. So it'll actually show color-coded on the floor someone that's planning to leave. You can see when, and you can see when someone's joining. The yellow on the map was actually committed space. So if I have 10 people joining next month or next week, I see those in yellow, so I know they're reserved for new hires. Same is true for people leaving the organization. We can color-code for that as well. Yep, good question. Another question? Yep, we do. So the question is cube sharing. So agile work environments, flex environments. We actually support a concept called zones and flex work environments. I can actually bucket a space within a floor. We have a concept of zones on a floor plan. So I can actually assign multiple people to a zone. If you're moving, a lot of companies are moving to an agile or flex work environment, not one-to-one, seat to desk, right? So we do support that as well. We also have conference room scheduling and hoteling features as well. We didn't demo that today. Feel free to stop by and show that as well. It's another functionality we built as well in the platform. Awesome. Good questions. Any other questions? Yeah. Yeah, so the question is, how do we sort of onboard facilities into a Nuvolo? We do. So we go through a migration process. Typically, facilities is running their data. ServiceNow themselves was in spreadsheets. We moved spreadsheets into ServiceNow. We set them up, AutoCADs into ServiceNow. If they're using another application, typically they are, we'll actually migrate that data using traditional APIs and traditional integration data.